Hi, my name's Yasmin and I'm the DM.
Hi, my name is Samantha. I play Elora Greyvale and she is a sorceress from the province of Nephalia.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I play Ogvar Shawfort, the goat-herding, mushroom-seeking ranger from Kessig.
Hi, I'm Rick, and I play Otto, a spring sage from Hanweir sworn to the land, wandering the plain and setting wrongs to right with his ursine companion, Bojo.
As the ladies made for Saltstone shores, they left the ship via magical means and made landfall once more. Rowan was sent to search for anything suspicious, whilst Elora indulged in a bit of a bucket bath, and Otto returned to his eagle form, endeavouring to provide his service as a spy in the sky in an ever-watchful capacity over all he surveyed. Back on the boat, the boys headed down decks to try and muddle their way through a pile of manuscripts in the hope of having an operational epiphany. And after garnering the unwelcome news that the undead were still lurking in the cemetery, Esther easily persuaded Elora to partake in a little pilfering from the town's abandoned tavern, claiming that they were both in need of a little pick-me-up. After finding exactly what they were seeking in the alcoholic department, they also acquired something unexpected in the apparition department too. Episode 145, Ghostly Gastronomy.
Now, what are you two lovely ladies doing in a town like this? It's a bit of a ghost town nowadays.
The irony is not lost on Esther, but on
It's
Elora.
not lost on Esther.
No, on Elora, but she would just go, what, I could ask you the same question. Who are you? Obviously the innkeep, but who are you?
Paul.
Paul.
Ah, yes, my name, Paul. I'm the innkeep round here, and used to do a fair bit of trade, but for some reason the boats have stopped coming. Don't know why. I should have been one in yesterday by my count. And it's been a while since there have been people here, and I'm not really sure why.
Elora's going to reach into her pocket, her side pouch, and she's going to produce a couple of silver pieces and just put them on the bar.
Yeah, he reaches a hand out. You see him put his hand over the coins, but his hand goes straight through the coins and through the tabletop. He drags it back and the coins kind of eventually topple off the edge and you hear them land on the floor.
Much obliged.
I think Elora will have lifted her mug at this point. She'd have taken a decent swig out of it, dusty or not, and she's literally all that you can see. She's put the mug in front of her face to hide her expression, and all you can see is her eyes over the rim of the mug. And she turns, including the mug, to face Esther with an expression of like, what do we do now? She's then going to turn back to Paul and say, thank you, Paul. I'll just go and get a seat over here.
Sure thing, Missy, there's plenty open.
Thanks a lot for that.
Sure thing. Come back if you want another drink, I've got plenty here. No clients these days, not really sure why. It's a sad existence.
Yeah, trade's a bit thin, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't ever get an answer. What brings you round these parts?
Just passing through.
Oh,
a bit like
okay.
you.
What
She
do you mean?
mutters under her breath.
What do you mean?
I just meant I was passing through.
Yeah, well, why am I passing through? I live here.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just had a bit of a busy day. It's a bit confusing.
Oh, is the sea salt out of your senses, dear?
I think it probably has, yeah.
Always does with sailors, I know your type.
Yeah. She raises her mug and then she grabs Esther by the arm, turns and shuffles off to the furthest fucking table nearest the door.
Yeah.
And she's just going to sit down for a minute, look at Esther and go, well, you wanted a drink. What the hell?
Esther's like, I really don't have any answers, dearie. He seems fairly harmless, though.
Oh, he seems perfectly pleasant. Nothing seems to surprise me these days, but that's not really what I had in mind for my morning. She is just going to drink.
Yeah. You hear some rummaging from behind the bar. You hear Paul's voice. I would offer you something to eat, but it's been a while and I don't have any supplies left. I do have some peanuts, though, if you want some peanuts.
No, you're right, thanks, Paul. I'm kind of good.
You sure? I'll bring them over anyway. And he brings over a bowl of peanuts. And as he approaches from behind the bar, you can see that from kind of the waist down, he is incorporeal. He is it's just kind of hazy blue mist. As he floats over, the bowl kind of bibbling around in the air, and pops it down on the table. He turns around, walks away, straight through 3 tables, and straight through the front of the bar again, and then returns where he is, and you hear him start whistling, minding his own business, and he's got a rag out. He pulls a rag off his belt, and he is clothed. He's wearing clothing. It's obviously incorporeal clothing, and this rag was clearly, he wore it so often on his belt that even after he's died, it's still there. And he pulls it out, and he appears to be kind of polishing a glass, but the glass isn't actually in his hand. He's just polishing air.
Oh god, this is weird.
Taking a turn today, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think Esther, I think it might be time to go. He seems pretty harmless. Seems like a nice guy.
So, I do wonder whether he can leave here. Mr. Paul?
Oh god.
Mr. Paul?
Oh dear Everson.
Oh yes, what can I do for you? I don't really want to broach on such a delicate topic in such a blunt manner, but do you realise you're perhaps looking a little pale nowadays?
Elora's just like her mouth's hanging open slightly, and her eyes are literally, it's that painting thing where the eyes are going left and right to think, oh god, what's going to happen now?
Oh, well, yeah, I've been feeling a bit washed out, worn a bit thin, It's, yeah. I always feel like, I've become a bit transparent. Yes, I know the feeling. It does get to you, doesn't it, some of those days? Oh, yes, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Well, you see, I was just wondering, we seem to have, we've acquired a vessel as of late, and you appear to be a talented barkeeper, and I'm assuming a chef with the right ingredients. Oh, yes, I'm a very good chef. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort to run a monopoly here in Saltstone. I had a monopoly on the pub, Whistlemeyer's. Paul Whistlemeyer, that's me. And, my pub was the best. I've got the prime position here, straight up from the beach, from the docks, and yeah, it takes a lot. I'm a very good chef, if I do have to toot my own trumpet. Oh, that's good to know. Obviously, we've come into acquisition of a new vessel, and we seem to be lacking a crew. Business is slow, and looking around outside, things seem to have fallen into a state of disrepair. And I was just perchance wondering whether, the great and talented Paul Whistlemeyer would be interested in coming aboard the vessel as a cook for us. We have a need, and I feel that it really boost our minimalist crew's kind of being should we have such a talented chef with us. What do you say, Elora? I think we could offer him a position.
Elora's going to look into the bottom of a rapidly emptying mug. She's going to swig the rest of it and go, yeah, why not?
Well, if you think about it, dearie, and she hides behind it. If you think about it, dearie, it's going to be very cheap labour.
Elora's actually, this is going to be the first thing that's made her smirk since losing her companion. She nods. She can actually see. She can see the value in that. Yeah, we can keep paying him. Yeah, we can keep getting it back. Yeah, well, works for me. It's like a slot machine, isn't it? One that you've got the keys to. Whatever one of those is.
Okay, so Paul Whistlemeyer, the ghost.
Oh well, I don't know. I'm flattered, honestly. You've got me all a flush,
And you can see that indeed his cheeks have taken on a very faint pink tint.
I don't suppose there's much left for me here. I thought I'd be born here, I'd live here, and I'd die here. But if I need to go on another journey, then I'll be damned if I don't. I'd be honoured.
Tremendous. That's all you're going to get from Elora. Tremendous.
Where do I need to go?
Where do you want him to go, Esther?
Well, I'd say aboard the ship would be a good idea. So Mr. Paul, if you so fancy, if you head down the beach and across the water, you'll see a big black ship. And yes, I'm sure there's a couple of people on board. We'll have to stay here, but I'm sure that this would be a brilliant opportunity for you to branch out and really get your pub name out there.
I'll tell you what, Paul. Yeah, if you go over to the ship, introduce yourself, tell him that you're looking for Ogvar and that Elora and Esther sent you. An extra pair of hands.
Sure thing. I'll do that right away. Of course. I don't think there's much left for me here, so I would say lock the doors on your way out, but I'm not sure if there's any point.
Oh, well, make sure you're duly recompensed. You can go on the payroll.
Oh, excellent. Okay, I'll see you then.
And he goes to the door, floats through the door, and promptly disappears.
What just happened?
Aurora's going quiet. Then you're going to hear a scraping sound as her chair goes back, and she's going to stand up, she's going to smooth her cloak down, and she's going to go, right, well, that's that then. And she's going to turn round, open the door, walk through it, and fling her head over her shoulder and say to Esther, you coming or what?
Oh, yes, dearie, let me just... And she runs behind the bar and grabs the bottle of liquor and runs out behind you.
Elora walks away shaking her head like, what?
I feel like we've really achieved something here.
Oh, it's definitely something. Right, let's go and find these horses. She's moving on with her morning.
Okay.
She's absolutely baffled, but she's moving on with her morning. It's just another experience that Elora has had. I mean, yeah, she's just heading towards the horses fairly rapidly. You know, she's moving along with purpose.
Okay, so Otto flying above, you see Esther and Elora emerge from the pub and begin heading towards where you left the horses.
Okay.
Back on the ship.
Yep.
Oh, yep, go on.
No, I was just going to say that Otto would just continue to keep an eye on them from above for as long as it's possible to see both. If they are heading out of the village, obviously he'll head back to the ship once he knows they're safely out of this cursed place.
Okay. So, yeah, back on the ship. Ogvar and Eric, you're in the very bottom of the ship, the very bows. Make me a listen check, please, Ogvar.
Sorry, opening the packet.
That's a 5, 10 with 15.
15, okay, yeah. Both of you, Eric and Ogvar, hear a noise from above. It's a startled kind of snorting growl from Bojo.
And then you hear, hello!
So yeah, Ogvar sort of. I imagine Ogvar sort of like prodding and poking things on the big screen, and he just sort of stops with his finger like over a button, and his eyes go wide. And what's that, Eric?
Hello!
Okay, I think we need to get out of this room. Shut the door. Shut the room. Shut the door of the treasure room, and go see who's there. So, if Eric's in agreement, you can come with me, or you can stay down here.
I will come with you.
Okay, it's best not let them know what's down here. So, Ogvar goes up out the treasure room, shuts the secret door to the treasure room, so no one can find it, and then sort of like looks to see what he can see from the hollowed out cavern that he's in. Can he see anything from where he is, or can he make an idea of where the noise is coming from?
Yes, do you again hear this hello? From the floor above you, definitely. You hear Murdoch kind of squawking in kind of alarm. Bojo is like grumbling.
Okay.
And you hear the excited yips of a small hellhound puppy.
Okay. Yes, Ogvar will. It doesn't seem particularly threatening. You go, hold on, I'm in the middle of something. I'll be right up.
Okay.
So he turns to Eric. It doesn't seem that of a threat. So it's best to go and see. And Ogvar will climb the ladder.
It's the Avon man.
Yeah, you
I was trying to think of something like that.
Deliveroo, Amazon,
Trade.
Pig, Uber Eats.
DoorDash. So you climb up the ladder. Eric will follow you.
Yeah.
You go through the galley and you push open the swinging doors. And you are greeted by the sight of Murdoch flying around the room in mild alarm. Bojo looking very confused. And a blue spectral figure floating gently around with a small hellhound puppy running underneath him, jumping and trying to bite at the mist that forms the lower half of this being. You see, he looks this humanoid. He is blue, fairly translucent, and he appears to be, an old salty sea dog, quite aged, not geriatric, but quite aged. Oh, hello. I was sent by Miss Esther and Elora for the position of a cook on your vessel.
Ogvar's sort of stood in the doorway with his hand on the handle of his axe.
Bloody big boat you've got here.
Ogvar just, yes, we've just come into ownership of it. Who are you?
I'm Paul Whistlemeyer. You must know me. I used to run Whistlemeyer's pub in Saltstone.
Yes, I can see from the state of you used to do things, but...
That's the spirit. I'm now part of your crew. Used to do things, yes. Business has been a bit dead lately, and I thought I might as well go on, the next great adventure.
Yeah, Ogvar turns around and looks at Eric.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, I suppose if Elora and Esther have sent you here, then they must trust you, and they must be obviously the man for the job.
Oh yes, yeah, they must.
It's always good to have more souls on board.
Yeah, No need to worry about me, Sonny. Is that the galley there?
Well, yes, but it's...
And he floats through you.
Oh, dear.
It feels cold. It's horrible. It's a disgusting sensation. It is a vile sensation. He floats through you. Yeah, well, it could do with a bit of tidying up, but, you know... Oh, no need to worry about a room for me, Sonny. I'll just float around.
Now, being floated through, Ogvar will put his hand up and put Ogvar back on his shoulder. Put Murdoch back on his shoulder and sort of turn around and walk back in and let the door shut behind him and just witness this ghost like floating about in the galley.
Ooh, look at that furnace. It's to die for.
So, you go, well, yes, it's, we haven't really done much work in here, as you can see, so it's a bit of a battleground at the moment. But we can get it made up to your likings and...
Oh, it's not a grave situation. It'll be fine.
This is just getting worse.
It's going to get worse very soon. She's going to point out that his main sort of food is soul food. It's going to happen.
Yes, I might need some things, but for now I think this is well, it'll do. Doesn't look like you've got many supplies here, Sonny.
No, we don't have many supplies.
Or are you the captain?
I think so.
You think
I'm
so?
Ogvar.
You're Ogvar.
Yeah.
Alright, Sonny Ogvar then.
Okay, and...
Right, sir, and he floats to attention. And you see the hand go up. Sir, I will bring this kitchen back into accordance as soon as possible. Yes. Leave it with me, sir.
Ogvar will salute back, but with the wrong hand. And
You've still got the bucket on the head.
and very, very good, Paul. Is there anything you need? You say you need some supplies. I don't quite know why I'm asking this at the moment, but is there anything we can do to assist you in your settling in, I suppose?
No, I don't think so. Not for... Well, I'll need some... Well, we'll need supplies, rations, food, fresh fruit, perhaps some oranges, I think they're called. I've only heard of them, but apparently they're good when you're at sea.
Okay. I know a man who can do bananas.
Yeah, I've only heard of bananas before. Oh, that'd make a delicious cake or something with them. So, supplies eventually. I'll have to take stock of the tools and equipment, but... Well, this table is quite sturdy, and he floats through it. I think we're all good for the time being. I won't be able to cook anything for a while, but when we restock and resupply, then we'll be good, sir.
Okay. Ogvar's sort of looking at him. He's walking through tables. He's walked through Ogvar. So he's well, okay. Well, let's at least let me at least help you. I'll help you tidy up. And he reaches down to pick something up off the floor and holds it out to offer him. So I'm not quite sure where you want to put this. Where would you put it? This, I don't know. Is it like a frying pan or a pot or something like that?
Yeah, it's gonna be something similar. And Paul reaches out to take it. You let go. It drops through his hand, straight through. And then, as you watch, his hand is still outstretched as if he's holding it, and he turns away, and the pan kind of clatters along the floor behind him, and before kind of floating up, he goes to put it on the worktop. It clips the worktop, clang, flips over, and then eventually kind of. It's like, okay, the best description is if you're playing Skyrim,
yeah.
and you've grabbed an item, and you're trying to move it round, but it's bashing into shit everywhere. That is the exact situation. It's like picking up one of the pots. It's like clang, bang, bang, clang, clang, bang, flips over, lands on Eric's head, bang, bang, flips off.
Yeah.
It's that exact situation where you're like, it's so incredibly uncoordinated.
Yeah.
But he's still acting as if he's got it in his hand.
I'm trying to imagine the menu now. Eat and mess.
Keep it simple, maybe.
Yeah.
Leave him to it.
So.
It's a really good Passover menu.
Oh.
So, Ogvar is just watching the clattering of pans and bits and bobs flying everywhere, and just looks at Eric and goes, "Well, I suppose he's one of the crew now, then."
It seems he's fairly harmless.
Yes, I suppose.
It'll
He
be
looks
good for
over
me.
at Bojo, who is Bojo outside, or is Bojo in
Bojo's in the next room. You hear Paul kind of say, "Oh, it'd be good for me to get some sunlight. Esther said I was looking a bit pale and washed out. Looking forward to this."
So he's well, very, very good, Paul.
A new life for me.
Yes, just yes, a new life. Yes. Excuse me a moment, and I've got nips back outside just to check on Bojo because I've left him out there on his own. He sort of pokes his head round and sort of, assuming Bojo's, well, Ogvar assumes Bojo's got some sort of understanding, and he's like, looks at me, "Are you all right?"
Does Bojo understand Common?
To a degree, yeah. He's got slightly greater than animal intelligence, and he'd be used to Otto speaking with him, so he'd recognise certain phrases, I guess.
So, does it work like we can speak to Bojo and he'll rudimentarily understand us, whereas if he speaks to us in his own language, we wouldn't understand him without speak with
he'll
animals?
probably get your general meaning if it's very basic, but wouldn't get anything complex.
Right. Okay. That's cool.
That's okay.
As you were. Sorry, had to ask that.
Yeah. So yeah, sort of just. I'll ask if Bojo's okay because he looks quite confused. And it's just sort of saying, well, the best way to put it, Bojo, is I think there's, I think he's going to be living here now. So, there's a sort of thumb over his back, pointing. I think, new person, new crew.
I think Bojo might try and advance through the doorway in the direction of Paul to go check him out a little bit and go and try and sniff the ghost, which will be interesting. He's probably going to look very confused.
Yeah, I get the vague image of he takes a good big whiff, and you see the mist that hangs underneath Paul kind of suck up into his nose and kind of before kind of being released in like a big huff again. He's very much a ghost.
I think Bojo's going to be very, very confused because he can see it. He can't. It might be a bit of a smell, but he can't touch it. I suspect that Bojo's going to sit unhappily in the corner, glaring at Paul, trying to make out what to do about him.
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. And that is how your morning ends. So. Midday rolls around. So it hits kind of like 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, so Elora and Esther would have made it back to the horses. Your horses are fine. They're still tied where you left them. They seem alright. You perhaps give them a bit of feed, a bit of water before you mount up and get ready to go. And you tie the spare horses, so I think you have 2 spare horses. Yeah, 2 spare horses. You tie them behind your horses, and you mount up and you start the journey back across land.
Yeah, she wouldn't have fed them because she wouldn't have anything to feed them with, but
no, they'll have. I believe you left feed rations with them. Did you leave feed rations?
No, I don't think so. I think because it was a half-day ride, they
you
would have just been grazing.
Yeah,
so.
They'll probably be fine. But you make sure they've had some water from like a puddle. Just make sure they're given the opportunity to have.
Well, she's got a water skin. I think she'd have done her best to just offer a little bit of water out the hand or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you let them have a bit of water. That's it.
Yeah. Right. She's going to throw the saddles, which would have been taken off and put on the floor. She's going to throw them back on.
Yeah.
Tighten everything up, and then she's going to mount her horse. She'll have how many horses did we say there were? 5, 6? 4. 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, 4. So you should have tied one to the back of her horse, they'd have tied one to the back of Esther's, and she'll mount. And she'll start to ride out of town. Presumably it goes back uphill for a short way before it levels
Yeah,
out.
it goes uphill, quite steep through this foresty area before you hit back onto the grass plains and you start journeying back across.
Just follow the track.
Yeah, and it is a nice day. It's bright sunshine, it's reasonably warm, it's probably about 18 degrees, it's probably one of the hottest days in Innistrad. Yeah, it's a nice day. Very much the calm after the storm. So Otto, you see Esther and Elora mount up and disappear. You come back to the boat. I'm assuming you land on deck and you transform back into your human form. And what are you doing at that
stretches
point?
legs out a little bit, walking a couple of circles to get his balance back, and slowly make his way back down to where he knows that Ogvar and Eric were going to be playing with stuff.
So you get down and you drop down to the lower, down to the first deck down. Don't see Bojo. You enter the galley to cut through into the kitchen, and you are encountered with the sight of a spectral being who is currently tidying up the kitchen.
I think Ogvar would probably, Otto would step past him for a moment, then realise what he's seen and do a bit of a double take.
Hello.
So look around for a moment. Ogvar? Eric?
Do I hear him?
I'd say, are you shouting off?
Talking loudly, should we say? Doesn't really want to upset this thing that might be hostile, though it doesn't look it.
Okay. So I'll leave that up to you whether you're going to hear him. But in the meantime, Paul. Hello, I'm Paul. He has gone very British, hasn't he? I now can't unhear the fact that he's gone very British. I can't even remember his original voice now.
He was very gravelly.
Scottish.
He was talking a little bit like this.
What was his original voice like?
He was.
Hello, I'm Paul. There we go.
worry.
Hello, I'm Paul. Paul Whistlemeyer. I'm going with this now. Paul Whistlemeyer. I'm the new cook. I'm supposed to be the new captain.
Did anyone else talk to you about this?
Yes, I spoke to Captain Ogvar and Esther and Miss Elora. Be good for me. Get a bit of, new adventuring life. Miss Esther said I was looking a bit pale, so get a bit of sunlight. It does sound like. Fucking stop it! Stop it, the lot of you. Look, I am doing my best
Get the two of
here.
them to have a conversation together.
I am doing my goddamn best here.
Otto's a little confused because there's been lots of names thrown around, and if this person thing has somehow spoken to both Esther and Elora, and then also somehow spoken to Captain Ogvar and Eric, why the hell hasn't he seen this being is anywhere in between? He's trying to work out if this has happened something before, or is this like an official party cook that has rejoined the party, or if this is somehow something very, very different. So he's going to take a moment just to try and piece things together in his head and say, okay, so Paul, right? I'm Otto, and he
Yes, your dog is very large.
and turn around and see Bojo obviously looking a little bit unhappy. Wander over to Bojo and say, Bojo, I don't know if you're allowed to eat this one. Maybe don't cuddle him either. And he just sort of give Bojo a bit of a scratch on the head. Yeah, I'm confused too. Don't worry. Yeah. Paul, do you know where the captain is? Captain Ogvar, do you know where he is?
Aye, sir, he went back downstairs.
Aye, sir. Okay. Has anyone ever told you talk a bit funny?
I don't know, my throat's been quite sore recently. I think my voice might be breaking again.
Right.
Fuck off!
Bojo, leave him alone. No eating. Paul, I'm going to be back in a moment. All right, I just give.
Sorry, who are you?
Otto, von Hanweir. I would say it's a pleasure to meet you, but
Nice to meet you. And he stretches out his incorporeal hand for you.
okay. Otto's a little bit reluctant to touch something that looks like a ghost, so might just shrug and say, "I'll be back in a moment, Paul." Yeah, and he's going to wander off down towards where he hopes Ogvar is, away from this thing, because for all he knows, this could be a wraith or something like that. Very oddly acting one, but he didn't want to touch it.
Okay, so yeah, you head back down. You head downstairs. You see the throne room. You go to the secret door, which has been opened back up again. You head down, and yeah, Ogvar and Erica down in the bows of the ship.
I have questions. There's a ghost upstairs, and his name is Paul, and he's a cook, and he's very polite for a ghost. Bojo's a little unsure, and I'm really confused.
Oh yes, delightful chap.
Yes, that's a thing now. I think we're all as confused as each other at the moment. I'm really hoping that Elora and Esther can explain what happened when we see them. But yes, he seems quite harmless. Not that good at putting things away.
You hear a clanging from upstairs.
I've got winces and...
How is he going to cook if he can't touch anything?
Well, he sort of moves things about, but I'm not sure. I haven't really... Well, I'm not sure, and I'm not quite sure Esther and Elora are that sure themselves, but we can only ask them when we see them. But he seems quite friendly and relatively harmless, unless he drops something on you, but...
and mostly see-through.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and don't let him pass through such a pleasant experience.
You hear a voice.
Would you like a sandwich? I haven't got any bread though.
No, I would.
And if you care to go into the treasure room and look up, you can see his torso hanging upside down through the floor.
I'll go look at it. Yes, okay, Paul. We'll have a sandwich, I suppose. Turns to Otto. Bread, I think, is just a slice of meat, but mind you, I don't think we got any meat either, so this could be very interesting. Yes, please, Paul. That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Do you want any mayo?
Sorry there, Ryan as a person really doesn't like mayo, so the thought is quite repulsive. I'll just shake his head and go, no thank you, Paul.
Good job I don't have any.
And he disappears back into the kitchen. You hear more clanging and banging.
I turn to Otto, I'll turn to Otto and go, I don't know what he has got, but I wasn't going to ask him. I'll just see what turns up.
Yes, or falls through, I guess. I'll just put his hand on your shoulder, look into your eyes, say, it's on your stomach, be it then. And then he's going to look around, see that you're still working on things. Obviously, he's seen some of what you've done, and just decide that the best thing to do is just to walk away and hope that he doesn't have to deal with this thing very often. And he's going to go upstairs. He's going to briefly nod at Paul without saying much, and collect Bojo.
Yeah, Paul pays no attention.
We're going to head out on deck and just enjoy the sun for a bit, because this is... We've seen some weird stuff recently, let's face it, but a ghost called Paul trying to cook for us on a ship that we didn't own until yesterday that apparently could float. is all a little bit too much, and Otto just really wants to take some time just to let all this settle in, and he's going to go out on the deck and he's just going to sit down, and actually what he'll do is he'll turn into a bear so that he can speak to Bojo, because when he's in bear shape he can speak bear.
And you wonder why Elora wanted to ride back the Genrix.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's going to take you a little longer. It's going to take you a little longer. I'm assuming, like, Otto, you have a good conversation with Bojo.
Yes.
Eric and Ogvar, you're still downstairs trying to figure out the minutiae, but you are basically at the point of setting sail now.
Yeah.
But it's been about half an hour. And you hear Paul, once again.
Okay.
Captain Ogvar, I've got your sandwich here.
Oh, okay, Paul, Ogvar will come out of the... Is it the engine room?
It's
Yeah,
going
we'll
to
put the engine room.
It's
The
going to be like
engine room.
engineering, isn't it?
You go through the engine room, through the treasure room, and I assume Paul knows that the secret door's there, or does he just think I just keep appearing from places? Am I Mr. Benning it?
I don't think Paul really cares about a lot, to be honest. I mean, he has got this unique quality. I should have said his voice echoes. It's like a ghost. Like, woo, his voice has got that kind of echo where
It could be coming from anywhere.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So you can hear it as if he stood next to you in the engine room, but he's not stood next to you. He's still in the kitchen.
Ship's tannoy.
So you go into the kitchen where you're assuming Paul is,
Yeah.
and he presents you very wobbly. So the plate is like, whoa, the food is nearly falling off the plate. But what he presents you with,
Oh, I've got no bread. Sorry.
is a plate. It's cracked, it's kind of broken, but on the plate is what appears to be a big tomato, like a big tomato, cut in half, right? Scooped out, so it's just like the flesh, and he's used it as like a burger bun almost, and it's just sat there. When you open it, when you take a bite or go to eat it, the inside has been filled with like a charred and stewed fish and chive mixture. Which you take a bite and it's like, oh, it starts for you have to tip it back upwards. And yeah, it's like a charred fish sandwich using tomato. It's an interesting combination.
Yeah. Also, Ryan as a person really doesn't like tomatoes.
I think we need supplies.
Yeah,
You'd probably be
Ogvar
very good with supplies, to be fair.
looks at it, bites into it, and he's doing that thing. It is odd. It's a very. He doesn't dislike fish, but
No, the fish is cooked to perfection inside. It's in like a... You're not quite sure what he's found in the kitchen. I mean, the kitchen is incredibly... He's tidied it up beautifully. I mean, there's some more dents in the counters and some more kind of gouge marks where a knife is clearly kind of thunk into something as he's tried to move it.
yeah.
But the kitchen is tidied. It's back in order. You can see kind of... He's found little pots of like spices and stuff, and they've been arranged nicely, and like little sprigs of like all sorts. So he's clearly found something. He's got a fish from somewhere, and he's made like this nice little sauce for it, grilled it, stewed it, put some like rosemary, thyme in it, and you know it's inside this tomato vessel. The tomato has been like char grilled as well, and you know for what he's got available, it's a pretty damn good meal.
Okay.
I mean, the fish is soft and delicate, and it's like, actually, that's quite nice.
Potential.
Yeah. But Ogvar will, eat it and say it is an odd combination having the tomato as a bun, but this is very nice. Thank you very much, Paul. Is this your specialty dish, or is this something you've just whipped up?
Oh, it's what I've made with the shit I've got. We really need some more supplies, Captain.
Okay. Well, as I say, I think we'll be. Hopefully, we'll be moving on, and we can find another place to moor the boat, and we can have a look for some supplies when we get there.
Woohoo!
Yeah, yes, sir. But thank you very much. Most appreciated and very delicious. Thank you. And he will sort of go back downstairs down the ladder with one-handed. And as he's doing it, Ogvar's thinking to himself that we obviously need a set of steps in here, not just a ladder. Because he's done a lot of ladder climbing today. And it's a 25-foot ladder.
I may be able to help with this.
Okay, so
Yeah, boy, this ship needs a refit.
half an hour later, you've had your interesting sandwich.
Yeah.
Um,
I've actually showed Eric as well. Sort of
yeah,
that's why I took it downstairs with him. It's actually pretty good.
Eric's pretty impressed. He's like, oh, that does look quite good. Where'd you get the fish from? I didn't see any fish.
I assume from over the side. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Golem steaks.
Not sure how a ghost fishes, but
You hear like his voice, Paul's voice. Oh, I dived down and got him. Some muddy fellas down there. Do you know that?
yes, just best leave them down there. Don't talk to them.
Okay, they weren't very good conversation anyway.
The thought process is going around in Ogvar's mind. He knows he's dived over the side and just sort of whisper to Eric, because I'm not quite sure how much Paul can hear. Do you think he knows he's dead?
I don't believe so, no. I think it's unfortunate happenstance that the number of puns he makes is only increasing.
Well, for now, I don't think we should tell him.
But you know what that means? Cheap labour.
Oh, yes, I suppose.
What was the fish? Lemon sole. Ba-bum.
No!
Meanwhile, Elora's busy riding.
Oh, I hate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so Eric tells you here, well, I think that we are ready to set sail. We'd have to sail this manually, of course. I mean, we can't set the automatic on the water. Captain.
Well, that's a little bit odd, but okay. First mate.
Can we wait until there appears to be a plane.
Oh, that's just Paul.
It's a ship taking off.
That's just Paul.
Natural sound effects.
What the?
I can't even see it.
So it's right over there.
Oh look, it's an airship.
It's just giving Eric PTSD to the cherry pie incident at the
I
moment.
haven't revisited it.
Oh, no, you haven't.
I haven't revisited it yet.
Okay, I think we're good. Yes. Are you ready to set sail?
I believe so. The one thing that I am thinking is obviously all the controls seem to be in the bottom of the ship.
Yep.
Are there some controls at the top of the ship? If you've got to keep going down the ladders to put the sails up and down, it's more times up and down the ladder again.
I'm going to say that this is a DM oversight here, because I didn't think about that.
Sorry.
Where's the steering wheel? It's on the rudder. It's underneath.
Yes,
I'm going to
you
say
already had
that-
cameras
yeah.
pointing at the ship from outside on those screens.
Yeah.
I would recommend that one of those provides a modern gaming style view of the ship, maybe from behind and slightly above.
So they're not cameras per se. It's like a blueprint drawing. So it's not like an actual live visual of the ship. It's like a.
Oh, I thought the magic missile showed that. Sorry.
No. So what it shows like a drawing of the ship and the glyphs where those glyphs are on the side.
This will be interesting.
So it's like a diagram basically. But what I will say is
The manual controls at the top.
Have you
so
got a ship's wheel?
ship's wheel is at the top, but what I will say is that the control core, as I'm just going to retcon this because I didn't think about it, the control core will detach.
Ooh.
So you can lift this orb out, and you would have noticed that there was a similar kind of like mount where you could put the control core by
that's
the
nice.
ship's wheel.
I like that.
What a recovery.
Shut the fuck up, you DM, fuck off.
No, I like it.
I like it.
So,
Cradle, there's a cradle for it.
Ogvar will take the control core. I assume he can pick it up. He hasn't got to put like oven gloves on or anything, has he?
No, it's not hot.
And you're gonna.
It's cold. It's a glass orb. It's just glowing very brightly.
Okay.
So to make the obvious pun, you're gonna go up the ladder wall, gently cuddling your ball.
I will put my ball in my bag.
You go past Paul. He goes, "Oh, I used to glow like that."
Ogvar just scratches his head and sort of tries to make sense of it and just. Very, very good, Paul. Yes. I'm not sure whether he's making a pun or not anymore. And we'll go upstairs onto the top of the deck. I assume when we appear out on the deck, we will see 2 bears.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Sort of like. So, I think we're getting ready to sort of move on now as well. Like push his hand through the air, like sailing motion. Are you ready to set off?
So you'd probably see one bear, the slightly smaller one, turn to the slightly larger bear, and you hear some low, very guttural sounds for a moment, and then maybe hear some back, and it'll repeat a couple of times, and then the smaller bear will turn around to you and just nod.
I will nod back to him. Okay, let's see how this goes. Are you ready, Eric?
Oh, ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Ogvar goes up to the helm.
Yep.
And pops the control core in and attempts to make a boat move.
Yeah. I mean, Eric will help you out. He's shown you what you need to do in the meantime. So he's shown you, first of all, I mean, neither of you know how to sail. So actually, can you both make me a knowledge check, please? You don't. I mean, you can kind of pass it out as to what you need to do, but neither of you have any experience in sailing a ship.
I have no modifiers to intelligence.
Tough shit, roll.
That was good, isn't it? A 3.
Ooh, ouch. Okay, so Eric's rolled a 15 plus modifier, so I guess that's going to be enough to
Avoid the rocky outcrop.
The top of the church, that sort of thing, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, I think you're sailing on the water though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Let me just check.
Did he not say he couldn't do autopilot if it was on the water?
Can't do autopilot on the water, no. So I'm just looking for the because there is a vehicle skill check, but I need to check specifically on what I need for that. So just give me a second.
Okay.
Skies are busy today, aren't they?
Okay, so you can add Ryan onto your sheet.
Okay.
You can add profession sailing onto your skill check sheet.
Profession. Okay, yeah.
So that will be a profession check, which I think is profession intelligence modifier.
Mine's whiz.
There we go. So yes, add your whiz modifier. So if you just want to quickly fill that out with your wisdom modifier, which is +1.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. And you can have a +1 miscellaneous modifier as an additional, as like a miss modifier, because Eric has taught you. Basically, he's got enough intelligence and wisdom to kind of teach you the very basics of handling a ship.
Okay.
So you should have a +2 to that modifier.
That's correct, yes. That's cool.
Okay. So any time, and this will go for anyone who's taking control of the ship or the driver of the ship, you will have to make various checks to successfully sail. They will be profession sailor checks. Or did I just say sailor? Sailing. There will be profession sailing checks. So there is obviously, as you go through, if you spend more time learning how to drive the ship, sail the ship, you will obviously get better modifiers as a bonus to that. So Elora, you would probably have that skill already.
Oh right. Well, I'll put it in.
Have you got you've got knowledge naval?
I've got knowledge nautical, which is an intelligence check. All these professions. I've got profession cartographer.
Okay, so you can add in on your profession, you can add in sailing, because you should have had that to start off with.
Okay, right.
And you can have a +2 miscellaneous modifier for your background.
So what do I get? A +2 to
So
knowledge nautical?
fill in profession with sailing.
Yeah, I've got a -1 on that, yeah.
On sailing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a -1 to my wisdom. I'm not at all wise.
Yeah, okay, you can put a +2 on your miscellaneous column on that, which should put you at a +1.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you just want to fill that out. Because of your background being on the ships, I'd say you probably would know how to sail a ship.
Yeah.
Kind of. So, where was I? Yes, so Eric has shown you, kind of basic, you need to raise the anchor, so you mount the control core. You get these screens come up again, so you can see these screens, and they actually kind of glow faintly. You kind of get the impression that should you be sailing at night, they would still glow, so you can actually see what you're doing.
Okay.
And the core itself is obviously quite bright as well, so you'd have good visibility in this area. So you know that you need to raise the anchor. So with Eric kind of standing there watching you, the pair of you go, right, we need to, let's raise the anchor. You get the anchor raised, you hear the sound of the chains, it tung, 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 up, and the anchor is now raised. You can feel the ship almost floats free slightly. I mean, it's not going yet, but you feel that it's now free. And you lower the sails come down, the sails kind of billow out, and you begin to move forwards. So you can make me there's a section of running over opponents here. Banged.
2 clay golems.
I will declare at this point that I actually do have a water vehicles proficiency.
Yes.
I was just looking that one up because I'm not sure what that entails.
Okay, I'll come back to that in a bit. Okay, so vehicle control. It is a calm day. The seas are quite light, they're quite flat. You can make me a profession sailing check, please.
Okay, yeah. An 11 with a +2 makes it 13.
13, yeah, okay, that's cool. So yeah, on light seas, there's very little wave, it's not very choppy, and although you do have some good wind, they're not rough winds. You're not going to get, you will take a little while because, you've got to figure out how much to turn the wheel exactly to get it to turn. So yeah, you spend a little bit of time, kind of experimenting and just trying to figure out exactly what you need to do. And you get underway. And you start off on your journey round the tip of Nephalia.
With Elora at a low ebb, the ladies left the boys and the animals aboard the boat. Rowan was sent scouting for possible problems, and it was not long before our sorceress received some unwelcome news that did not do much to improve her mood. As was now customary with our heroic crowd, things took an unexpected twist, involving an incorporeal innkeeper, some bottles of booze, and a 50-year crash in custom, as Esther and Elora somehow managed the most unlikely of job interviews, sending their new recruit to report to Captain Ogvar aboard the Shattered Moon. Otto rejoined Ogvar and Eric, who had spent their morning trying to figure out how to float their boat out of the bay and back to Genrix. And as we leave this episode, they leave the bay with the wind at their backs and hoping for a fortuitous inaugural trip. Hey, you made it this far, so lend us your ears for a moment longer if you will. Firstly, we are most humbled that you are enjoying our yarn, and the crew thank you from the bottom of their hearts for your patronage. Producing this podcast is incredibly hard work, and as such, if you would like to support us, there are a few ways in which you could really make a difference. Sharing links to friends and family helps to spread the word, so others like you can find us, and in turn they too can enjoy the show. Equally helpful is leaving a 5-star review on Spotify and any other streaming services, which will help us immensely. Or, if you feel you could go that extra mile and contribute a few coppers to keep our creative juices flowing, you can hop on over to our Buy Me a Coffee page or drop us an email. We would all be immensely grateful for your support in any form. Lastly, we invite you to visit our website, where you will find information on our campaign From Backstories to Settings. Join our Facebook group or follow us on Twitter. All the links are in our episode bios. Don't forget to smash the subscribe and download buttons so you never miss the next episode. See you all again next week, folks.